Hello, and welcome to the Lehigh Hanson Union Bridge Cement Plant. At Lehigh, safety is our #1 priority. Everyone has a responsibility to ensure their own safety and the safety of those around them. This video was designed to make you aware of any hazards you may encounter while visiting this site. This video is not only important for your safety, but also mandatory. Lehigh Hanson Cement is regulated by the Mine Safety and Health Administration. If you have any questions regarding any of the training we're about to go over, please contact your Lehigh representative or our safety professional. Upon your arrival here at Union Bridge, be sure to sign a visitor's register located in the main office lobby. Contact your Lehigh representative and don't forget to sign out upon leaving. While working or visiting at this site, the minimum personal protective equipment needed is a hard hat, safety glasses, side shields, if not, wrap around the lens, minimum 6-inch steel or composite-toed boots, cut-proof gloves, gloves to be worn always while working, a high-visibility jacket or vest to be worn always while out in plant areas, long pants and shirts that cover the tops of your shoulders are required. No shorts, tank tops, or sleeveless shirts. Other safety equipment that may be needed are face shields when grinding, proper density glass for oxygen and acetylene burning, a welding helmet with splash-proof goggles, hearing protectors such as earplugs or muffs in noisy areas, dust respirators in dusty atmospheres, a self-retracting full-body fall protection when off the ground more than 4 feet. If entering or working in the pyro line, you must have a 2-way radio and monitor channel 1. Or be with someone who has a radio. Continued contact with cement can cause chemical irritation or even burns, especially to the eyes or areas of the body that are wet or perspiring. Practice good personal hygiene always. Stop. Think, identify, control, and monitor the hazards. The Take 5 risk assessment process is a simple and effective way to increase safety awareness and reduce risk. A Take 5 risk assessment involves giving a rating to the level of risk associated with an event, then putting in place controls to help remove or reduce the risk to an acceptable level. The level of risk associated with an event can be established by assessing the chance of an event happening and the potential harm or damage the event could cause. Prior to working in any area, a work area examination must be conducted and documented. Pre-shift inspections must be conducted on all machinery, tools, and immediate work areas. Any hazards found must be corrected immediately or you must tag out. List the hazard and barricade if necessary. While traveling through our facility, whether you're walking or driving, please pay close attention. Some areas are high congested traffic flow. Caution must be observed. Our facility operates large and small mobile mining equipment. Here are some guidelines you need to follow. Before operating any mobile equipment here at the mine, you must receive task training. This task training must be documented and a copy of that certificate kept here at the mine site for review by MSHA. In any case, never operate mobile equipment until you're authorized and trained to do so. When parking mobile equipment and leaving it unattended, all brakes must be set and all attachments must be fully lowered to the ground and the wheels must be chalked. Your wheel chocks must be placed on the downhill grade of the slope. If you're unsure which way the slope is going, place a chalk in the front and behind the tire. Before operating, a mobile equipment pre-operational checklist examination must be conducted by the operator at the beginning of each shift. Defects which affect safety must be reported and the vehicle tagged out and arrangements made to get them fixed as soon as possible. A record of that examination must be kept here at the mine site and made available for review by MSHA. While operating mobile equipment or riding in any vehicle, everyone must be in the cab in a proper seat with a seatbelt on if provided. Never ride in the bed or tailgate of a truck. Never attempt to get on or off machinery while it's in motion. Before putting mobile equipment into motion, you must sound the audible alarm to warn pedestrians and other equipment operators that you are about to move. After sounding that alarm, pause a few seconds to give equipment operators and pedestrians time to get out of the way. While driving on plant property, please maintain our posted speed limits of 10 miles per hour. Changing weather conditions could dictate slower speeds. We practice vehicle segregation at our plant, which means you must park your vehicle in a way you can only move forward when leaving that parking spot. No pull-in parking. A confined space has limited or restricted means for entry or exit, and is not designed for continuous human occupancy. Confined spaces include, but are not limited to, tanks, storage bins, hoppers, manholes, equipment housing, and pipelines. Areas of confined space, authorized personnel, and permit required are labeled throughout the plant. If you are working in a space that requires a permit, you must have your supervisors fill out the correct paperwork for your permit. Some areas may require a continuous atmosphere monitor. Only one permit per shift is allowed. Everyone working in a confined space must be listed on the permit. Electricity is a hazard no matter where you go. Here at Lehigh, you must be authorized and competent to work on anything electrical. Before attempting to perform maintenance, electrical, mechanical, or housekeeping, on any system, it must first be authorized to be worked on and shut down, de-energized, performed lockout, tag out, try out with every maintenance person's lock and personal identifiable tag on that piece of equipment or gang box. The key must be on their person, so no employee can attempt to start it without their knowledge. Locks must be removed by the owner only, or a lock removal procedure must take place by the area supervisor. Anytime you're working near electric lines, ladders, equipment, and yourself, you must maintain at least 10 feet of clearance between you, your equipment, and the power lines. When in doubt, consider all electrical power lines to be energized. After work is completed on a piece of equipment, all safety guards must be put back into place, all personal locks removed, equipment re-energized. Call the central control operator to release the equipment back to them and verify they have good signals. This is the pyro line. This area includes the tower, kiln, burner deck, cooler, and pan conveyor. You must have permission from Central Control prior to entering these areas. You can do this by dialing 410-386-1225 or by using the plant radio on Channel 1. You must have a two-way radio. Stay on and monitor Channel 1 while in the pyro line, or be with someone who has a radio. While working in the pyro line, if there is any emergency, the global lights and siren will go off, and the central control operator will make an announcement on the radio to exit the area immediately. You need to leave the area and go to a safe place and inform central control you are clear. The central control operator will inform you via radio contact when it is safe to re-enter the area. After completing your work assignment and exiting the pyro line, be sure to inform Central Control that you are clear of the area. As a contractor, if you bring chemicals to our worksite, you must make sure that their containers are properly labeled with at least the common name of the chemical. For chemical safety, the plant has material safety data sheets located throughout the plant. If you bring a chemical onto this site, you need to also bring a material safety data sheet with that chemical. In any case, never use a chemical unless you've been trained to do so and you have reviewed the material safety data sheet. In the event of an aqueous ammonia release, an audible and visual alarm will sound to indicate there has been a release. Be sure to evacuate that area upwind. In the event of a plant emergency or accident, please contact your central control room on your radio on Channel 1 or by dialing 410-386-1225 on your cell phone. The central control room operator will ask you some basic questions, your location, and the nature of the incidents. In the event of a plant-wide emergency where an evacuation is required, those employees working on the pyro side will report to the core building in the upper parking lot. Those employees working on the finished mill side will report to the parking lot at the old change house. New Windsor Quarry. Report to the main parking area. For fire safety, fire extinguishers are located throughout the plant. Be familiar with all fire extinguishers located in your area. Inspect the fire extinguisher to ensure it's operable and fully charged. If you're going to be doing any hot work, make sure that the fire extinguisher is readily available. Be aware of no smoking or open flame areas throughout the plant. Proper storage of flammable materials must be maintained. Propane, oxygen, and acetylene tanks are stored properly and securely. As a contractor, you and your crew need to be familiar with the emergency response and disaster control plan. Sometimes, events can happen that are beyond our control, such as tornadoes, lightning strikes, explosions, flash floods, even acts of terrorism. This plan gives you detailed guidelines on how to respond to each of these events. Common accidents at any plant are slips, trips, and falls. We can avoid this by simply using the handrails anytime we're climbing and descending stairs and walkways. Safe access must be provided and maintained to all work areas. This includes walkways. Make sure you don't leave tools and other debris lying around in the walkway where someone can trip over. Any rags containing flammables, combustibles, or grease must be thrown in the correct receptacles. These are the red-covered metal containers located throughout the plant. Don't leave electrical cords or welding cables lying around. Reroute cords, hoses, welding cables overhead or under walkways to prevent tripping hazards. Here at this facility, we use a yellow caution tape and a red danger tape. The yellow tape denotes a potential hazard. The yellow tape should be tagged by the person or persons who put it up when the hazard is not immediately obvious. Those individuals who do not need to be there should avoid that area. It may be crossed, but not until identifying the actual hazards, and alerting whoever put up that tape that you need to cross through that area. The yellow tape may be removed only when the potential hazard or hazards have been corrected. The red tape denotes a known hazard. Unauthorized persons should not cross this tape. The red tape is to be tagged by the person who put it up. That tag must include the supervisor's and the contractor's name, date, and reason for the tape. Red tape may only be crossed by an authorized person who's been instructed in all the known hazards and has the proper personal protective equipment and permission. Red tape may only be removed after the hazard or the hazards have been corrected. When using ladders on our property, first select the ladder that is appropriate for the classification and type of work that you are going to do. Remember, no metal ladders are allowed on our property. When using a stepladder, make sure that the spreaders are fully extended and in locked position. Make sure you do not step on the top area where it says "Do not step." Also, don't use a stepladder to gain access to another platform. When using extension ladders, once again inspect it for defects, make sure both feet are securely fastened, the ladder is on a firm, level ground, and anchored in slope at a 4:1 ratio. Make sure you go with the manufacturer's recommendations as far as uses. Don't overextend the ladder. Tie off the top of the ladder and then make sure that the top of the ladder extends at least 3 feet past your upper landing. When ascending or descending, be sure to maintain proper 3-point contact always. Use a rope to pull up any tools or materials you may need before ascending or descending the ladder. Never stack materials above or below your ladder because somebody coming off the ladder could easily trip on it. While working from elevated areas, be sure to secure your tools and other equipment from falling on other people. Also, the area below your work area must be barricaded off and signs posted to direct people to stay out of that area. Anytime you're working at a height of 4 feet or more, or have the potential to fall into a hazardous area, you must be protected from falling with either a guardrail, a safety net, or a personal fall arrest system. Your personal fall arrest system must consist of a full body harness, a self-retracting lanyard, and an adequate anchor point. If you're going to use a JLG at our facility, you first must be task trained on the safe operation of that JLG. In any case, be familiar with the controls and make sure you use fall protection anytime you are operating the JLG. You must stay clear of suspended loads. If you must work with a suspended load, you need a tagline. Make sure the tagline is attached before the load is lifted. Make sure the tagline is made of a non-conductive material and long enough for the safety of your riggers, and never wrap a tagline around a body part. A big hazard here at the plant are moving machine parts, gears, sprockets, chains, belt conveyors. Any of these things that move can kill you. We have guarding to protect you from most of these moving parts. One of the things we do here is sound an audible alarm any time we're about to start up any piece of equipment. On entering the quarry, you must contact the crusher operator on channel 13/New Windsor repeater channel on the company radio. While driving through the quarry, please obey all traffic signs as they are different. You must also use your headlights while traveling on quarry roads. Be familiar with the blasting sirens protocol. Remember, with any blasting operation, there's always a chance for a fly rock. Never attempt to watch a blast while it's going off. And as a final note, no horseplay, no gambling, no firearms, no alcohol, no drugs are permitted on our property. Your failure to follow these rules and policies we've gone over could mean dismissal from our property. Again, everyone has a responsibility to ensure their own safety and the safety of those around them. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant and safe experience while here.